Hello and welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com. I'm Jim Sheehan, joined again by the head wrestling coach of the Hofstra Pride, Dennis Papadatos. And Coach, the wrestle-offs are behind us and getting ready for match number 1 of the season against Franklin and Marshall this Sunday, November 5th at the David S. Mack Sports and Exhibition Complex at 4 p.m. First of all, let's talk about the wrestle-offs this past weekend. What'd you see?
It was good. I think we showcased some of our talent. Some of our talent was out with just illnesses that they're pretty much all be back practicing by today on Tuesday. So it was a struggle to have some guys out because we couldn't showcase what we wanted. Some matches we really wanted to see, like 65 and 97, never got to happen. It just happened to be that where we had some illnesses. But overall, I was happy with our talent level. I was happy with the overall activity level. I think it's showed progress, and I've heard that from many people. So I'm a biased person on my side. So when you hear from other people, it's a good sign when people are excited about guys. I thought and I said this in practice. I thought out of everybody, I thought Vinny Vespa just really put out what we want to show out there. He was physical, he was aggressive, he tried scoring points, he was tough in situations, he was composed, he had a lot of mat sense, he showed a lot of what we expect to show in the lineup, and everyone's excited to see Mike Hughes again. So.
All right, well, we head into the first week of the season, and most of the team will be in action either at the Princeton Open on Saturday or against Franklin and Marshall against the Diplomats on Sunday in the first regular season match. Let's go quickly through the lineup for the tentative lineup for Sunday. 125, Jacob Martin, a returning sophomore.
Yep. So we're excited about him. We need him to get it going. It depends if we start at 25. We're excited about his growth from last year. So we'd like to see what it means when we wrestle someone else.
And you already mentioned Vinny Vesper at 133. Jumping ahead, he finished 5th in the EIWA, and obviously this first match of the season is an EIWA match.
For sure, and I believe if it's the same kid, this kid actually beat him last year. So I can't remember. Yeah, more this year. Yeah, it was 0-0, and he cradled us and put us on our back and pinned us. The kid's pretty good, and I'm sure Vinny would like to avenge that loss if that's the matchup that happens.
And 141, Connor Burkett, ready to go for this year?
Yeah, I mean that's the plan. Obviously, we're doing a better job of keeping him in check. Some of the things he struggled with, we're helping him through it, so hopefully there's improvement and growth, and we need him to go out there and compete, and be a strong force for us.
And his opponent is going to be Brett Culp from the Diplomats. 149, Ryan Burkett. He'll go up against Cole Aaron.
Same thing. He actually got that little illness right after everyone else, but he should be back, and then we'll get him ready to go. So it's another one. He won 20 matches last year. We're getting started. We expect him to have a breakout year.
And 157, a performance, a debut for redshirt freshman Ricky Stam, who had a great redshirt season last year. He'll go up against Emmett Lecastri.
For sure, and that Emmett Lecastri kid is actually one of their better kids. He's tough. He beat us last year when Kaminsky was the 57-pounder. So we're excited to have put Ricky out there, and he's performing well. He's doing everything right. He's a trooper, man. Local Nassau kid, Levittown kid. As I was telling everyone, he likes to compete. He likes to wrestle, and it shows.
And 165, Sage Heller dropping down, and he'll be making his debut at 165, his collegiate debut at 165.
Yeah, that was one of the matchups we really wanted in the wrestle-offs, Kaminsky against Sage. Most likely, obviously, Tristan Guerin was sick too, but we wanted to see that matchup. But, as I told them, we're sending Kaminsky to the tournament on Saturday. Because we do watch practice, and Sage has shown a lot. To be honest, we've been very impressed with Sage all preseason. He got a great summer in, got more matches in the summer because he likes freestyle more than Jake does. So we're going to send Jake to get matches, but we're going to spread that out. Just right now, we feel comfortable putting Sage in there. But we were very impressed with Jake and his wrestle-off. We were really extremely impressed, actually. And they're going to probably be battling out for a few weeks to see who's going to be the guy. Probably after the Navy Classic, we'll have a way more, this is their spot type of thing.
And Sage is going to go up against either Dylan Gumer or Jake Connor.
Okay.
At 174, Bobby Fair. going up against Josh Young for the Diplomats.
Yeah, I don't know much about Josh. Obviously, Bobby's gonna be. We're honoring him as a senior. It's gonna be his last year. He's gonna graduate. So he's got to put it all on the line. He's got a lot of talent, and we're trying to get him geared towards, leave it all on the mat, leave it all on the table. Stay loose and use your talent and put it forth. So I think he's excited to be going on Sunday.
And 184 Corey Damiana against Stephen Mercandante.
Yeah, I think that kid redshirted last year. I'm not quite sure. I think he's pretty. I know they're pretty excited about him. But Corey's gotten better and he's showing improvement. And he's another guy that redshirted last year that's back, and it's nice to have him back in the lineup. We have big expectations of Corey. I mean, he beat. Even though it was an interesting wrestle-off, he won the wrestle-off, bumping up a weight against a guy that had a winning record of 197 for us. So, I think that shows that Corey's made a jump.
And 197, Nays Haddad against Phil Robalato for Franklin and Marshall. Nays returning to a starting spot.
For sure, as like I said, for now, Oxley was under the weather. He's back. And he's a trooper, and he does everything we ask, and he's a 2-year starter. But he missed a lot of the summer with an injury, and we just feel like, from what we saw last year with Nays, and he had a winning record, and he was a returning starter. At this point, we should feel a little more comfortable since we can't really get that wrestle-off done to put Nays in the lineup, get Oxley his matches, but they're going to be battling it out too for the next 3 weeks to see who the guy is. Oxley's going to have every opportunity, but since we couldn't do the wrestle-off. Right now, since we had a pick, we're just going with Nays for now. And it may be Nays the whole year. Oxley's going to have a very fair shot to earn that spot as well.
And the final match at 285 is a battle between two 2016 NCAA qualifiers, and Mike Hughes for Hofstra and Antonio Pelusi from Franklin and Marshall. Both went to the NCAA championships at Madison Square Garden in 2016 that Hofstra hosted. Should be a good match. That should be the featured match.
It should be. The good thing, the record's on our side. I think Mike's wrestled 2-3 times, and it doesn't mean anything. It was 2 years ago, but I'm pretty sure we pinned him. But he's their showcase guy. Mike's our showcase guy. It's going to be a dual meet, and I'm sure he's got better. Well, he redshirted last year, and they both redshirted last year, which is kind of funny. They both qualified 2 years ago. They both redshirted last year. The history is on our side when they wrestle, but history doesn't matter anymore. You put the singlet on, you go out there, and we need Mike to show everyone where he belongs, what he expects by starting the year off by beating a good guy right off the bat. I think it's good that he has a good guy right off the bat to make sure, remind everyone that's the plan.
In the words of the great philosopher Neil Diamond, used to be's don't count anymore.
Yeah, Neil Diamond is a great philosopher.
Nonetheless, a big match on Sunday at the David S. Mack Sports and Exhibition Complex. One last comment. You had a great clinic before the wrestle-offs on Sunday with former Hofstra coach, your coach, and Ohio State coach Tom Ryan, and the great Kyle Snyder from Ohio State. Tell us a little bit about that.
It was great, man. It was good support. Our meet and greet after was unbelievably attended. We're still waiting for all the dust to settle to see how productive it was for our program, in a fiscal sense, which it's probably did a really good job. But overall, just having him around for Long Island, for the kids, to have Tom back, to have Tom speak. Obviously, we got Mike Hughes, and we're trying to beat Kyle Snyder at the end of the year at the national tournament. But speaking of Kyle, he's a pretty special individual. It's understood why he's already a 2-time world champion, Olympic gold medalist, and 2-time NCAA champion, 3-time finalist, because he's special. And I try to really illustrate that he doesn't have those accomplishments. Those accomplishments don't make him special. He has those accomplishments because he's special. And when you speak to him, you understand why. The good news is for us that Mike is really big. So we're hoping, when we butt heads with him in the national finals, that's our plan, that, we can. We're not worried about that yet. We're still worried about Franklin and Marshall. But having Kyle here was unbelievable. We're blessed. We're blessed to have Tom and Kyle to come in.
Well, great. And good luck this weekend against the Diplomats of Franklin and Marshall in match number 1.
Appreciate EIWA.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you. Appreciate having us. Thanks for having us, everyone.
And thank you for watching the WB Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com.